and welcome along to Used Car Heaven, the program that helps you, the viewer, get behind the wheel of your next car. We all dream of driving a high-performance supercar, but in reality, how many of us can really afford to make the compromises supercar ownership demands? The good news is that these days, you don't have to, and we've got 3 cars practical enough to go shopping in, but as punchy as a Porsche. And if my 3 cars aren't quite what this week's viewer is after, Ian Royal will be here to offer his own practical performer. And of course, Simon Hughes, our car doctor, is back in his surgery curing your car's mechanical problems.
Hi, I'm Nicola Turtill Johnson. I work for an insurance company. These are my cars and I'm looking for something a bit more practical than the Megane, but with the same performance as the Porsche, and I have a budget of £26,000.
So Nicola has £26,000 to spend. She wants something with more space than her Megane and the same performance as her Porsche 911. It's not an easy task, so let's have a look at the first of the 3 cars that I have to show her. Possibly the ultimate GTI, but definitely the ultimate Golf. Up front there's a 3.2 litre V6 that puts out 241 brake horsepower. Coupled to a 4-wheel drive transmission, this road rocket will cover 0 to 60 in just over 6 seconds and has a top speed of over 150 miles per hour. But what will Nicola think of the Volkswagen Golf R32? Okay, so first impressions, what do you think?
Like it. It's got the power.
Lots
of power.
So do you think this would then adequately replace the 911?
That's a very, very hard question because I love the car. It's not just the way that the Porsche drives, it's also, I suppose, a status symbol. Yeah. You've got that Porsche badge. I just love the fact that you can get yourself out of trouble so easy because you've got that speed there. I've had hot hatches and sporty cars for too long. I'm getting a bit long in the tooth for them now. I need something a bit more practical. I just love this power.
When the Golf GTI was first launched back in 1976, it was light, mean and rapid. But over the years, Golfs have got bigger, fatter and more grown up. As a result, modern Golf GTIs are, well, not as much fun as they used to be. But when the R32 was launched in 2002, it proved that very occasionally, madness still rules at Volkswagen. They took the 3.2 litre V6 from the Phaeton Luxury Saloon and dropped it into the Golf 4Motion and gave us the most exciting Golf in over a decade. So why would you want to buy a Volkswagen Golf R32? Well, first and foremost, there's performance. The 4Motion drive system gives you unbelievable grip. And the 3.2 litre V6 engine isn't just powerful, but it also makes for an absolutely beautiful engine. Now, combine all those things together, and that makes this Golf a very rapid machine. This is just as practical as the standard Golf. And if 3 doors aren't enough for you, well, it also comes in a 5-door version. There's not many of these cars around, which means the R32 should become an instant classic. So what should you be paying for a good Golf R32? List price for a new 5-door was around £22,500. Because of the low numbers, they are still desirable. Used models with low mileage can be found for around 21 grand, with very low mileage models commanding well over list price. With her £26,000, Nicola should be able to choose from the very best of the R32s. But what will Nicola think of Volkswagen's Golf R32? So, the Golf R32, what did you think?
Loved it, absolutely loved it. I want to take it home with me now.
No, there's more to come, What made it put such a smile on your face? Was it just the performance?
The performance was out of this world. The driving position, the way it handled, the colour of it.
And the colour of the dash, it lights up blue as well,
yeah.
Same colour as the car.
Yeah.
So it's looking good for the R32 then. All right.
Liked it a lot.
But don't make up your mind just yet, because I've got yet another car for her to have a look at. Our second car this week is a diesel. But before you change the channel, the engine may burn oil, but it's still a 3 litre V6 and will crack 0 to 60 in 8 seconds and has more torque than the Golf R32. However, this manufacturer isn't famous for diesel engines, but for distinctive turbocharged sports saloons. But What will Nicola think of Saab's 9.5 3-litre TID? Oh, what did you think of it when you saw it from the outside, first and foremost?
It's a Saab. Boring. It's something that my dad would drive.
Okay, internally, there's loads of room. So you've got the practicality side of it, right? Externally, it looks like a Saab, which it's supposed to do. So is it a personal thing? Is it a preconception that you just don't like the outside of it? Or is it you're just being negative towards it because it's not what you're looking for? You want something sporty, obviously.
I expected it to have a little bit of power. It's got nothing.
The Saab 9.5 was launched in 1998 as a competitor to the BMW 5 Series and the Mercedes E-Class. Available with a range of engines from a 2-litre petrol turbo to the 3-litre V6 petrol and turbo diesel units. The 9.5 continues Saab's excellent reputation for safety, achieving 5 stars in the Euro NCAP crash tests. Now, a couple of years ago, if someone had told you that they were using a diesel engine in a performance test, you would have thought they were mad. 176 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 8 seconds from the 3-litre V6 engine doesn't seem that exciting. But in real driving terms, this car is very quick. Right, say you get stuck behind a truck doing 50 miles an hour. Well, you're going to have to do this to get by it. Accelerate. This car gets from 50 to 70 in just over 7 seconds. That's thanks to the torque that you get from this turbo diesel engine. That's actually 1 second faster than the Golf R32. Unfortunately, these 9.5s are pretty hefty depreciators. Bad if you're buying one new, great if you get one second hand. Our 9.5 V6 TID costs around £27,000 new, but after 2 years would be worth as little as £14,500. With 26 grand at her disposal, Nicola should have her pick of the best. But let's find out what she thinks of the Saab 9.5. So, the Saab. Give me something positive, please.
I've been trying to think, and apart from it being really, really comfortable, just didn't do it for me.
Well, I mean, you've got to remember now, this, you also wanted to have a look at a performance diesel. This is a performance diesel. It is a great car if this is the type of car you're looking for, but you are not looking for this sort of car. You're looking for something that's going to really be, you're going to be able to throw around the place and have a lot of fun in.
Definitely. It doesn't have the performance that I'm looking for.
Doesn't look like this is doing that well at the moment.
No.
Well, don't make up your mind just yet. You've seen 2 of my cars. We've got one more for you to have a look at. But first, it's time to catch up with our car doctor, Simon Hughes, to tell you all about the problems you may have with your cars.
This week we're looking at brake light problems on cars, because every month hundreds of accidents are caused by them not operating correctly. Now, there's 3 main problems with brake lights. They either don't work at all, they stay on all the time, or they operate sort of dimly, so you can't tell the difference between your brake lights and your actual tail lights. So I'm going to show you hopefully what the problems are, and maybe so you can have a go at fixing them at home on your own car. So the first thing we're going to do is assume that the brake lights are not working at all. And so we'd look in the back, remove the bulb from the holder and have a look at it, and we'd check the filament inside to see if it looks okay, and it does in this case. So the next thing we'd do is we'd actually check with a simple test light to see if we've got power coming through to the bulb here. Whilst we're in here, we're also checking multi-plugs and wires to make sure we've got no corrosion and good connections there, because that can be a problem. If we think that side is okay, we're then going to move inside the vehicle and have a look down at the brake pedal where we've got the brake light switch, and we're going to check to make sure that's connected and that it's operating okay. So we'll have a look there. Now the next part of the testing is inside here. On the pedal, the brake pedal, we've got a little switch which I have removed, but before I removed it I made sure that the wires were connected to the terminals. We're then going to test it with a simple multimeter, and we're checking it just for continuity with them connected and seeing if we get a reading or not. It's either right or it isn't. If it is okay, in this case it is, I could refit that, make sure the wires are connected back up, and then go and check the fuses under the bonnet to see if there are any blown. So that's what we're going to do now. Now the fuses that we're looking at on this car are under the bonnet, but on some cars, maybe the one that you own, they are inside, maybe under the dashboard somewhere. The fuse box is over here, and what we're looking for is basically a fuse that's blown, and you can see on these fuses they have a little element inside that you can see when they're okay, and that blows when there's a fault on the circuit. Now, if you check all your fuses and you either replace them or you find that they're all okay, your brake lights at this stage will now work and your lack of brake lights problem will be cured. So with all that done, hopefully all your brake light problems will be cured, and I'll be back next week with more motoring tips for you.
Well, so far Nicola's been out in the Volkswagen Golf R32, which she liked a lot, and the Saab 9.5 turbo diesel. And after the break, I've got one more car for her to have a look at. It's got rally-winning grip, and it's also very stylish. What is it? Well, you're going to have to wait to find out. We'll see you in a minute. Hi, and welcome back to Used Car Heaven. Nicola Turtill Johnson has £26,000 to spend on a performance car that has to be practical as well. She's already driven the Volkswagen Golf R32, which she liked a lot, and the Saab 9.5 3-litre TID. But what will she think of the final car I have for her this week? This style leader has made a name for itself producing rapid estates, or Avants. The 3-litre V6 model we have here has 220 brake horsepower, but will crack 0 to 60 in just over 7 seconds, going on to a top speed of 151 miles per hour, while the now legendary Quattro 4-wheel drive system provides terrific grip. But what will Nicola think of Audi's A4 Quattro 3-litre Sport? Okay, then first impressions driving it then.
Strange because I'm not used to automatics, but it's very smooth. Very easy to drive, and it's going.
Nice bit of pickup there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So when you saw this Audi first, what did you think from the outside?
It looks lovely. Now, I'm not a lover of estates, but the chrome on it and the wheels just make it look really nice.
Some really nice little touches, aren't there?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think compact-wise, it just doesn't look too big. It just looks really nice, even though it's got the estate at the back. It doesn't feel like I'm driving an estate. Yeah. You got the Quattro as well, which helps you an awful lot going around bends.
Yeah.
And you like revving it, don't you? Girl racer. Girl racer. The original A4 was released back in March 1995 and marked Audi's intentions to challenge BMW's incredibly popular 3 Series. The A4 arguably leads its class in build quality and style, available with a range of engines from the 1.6-litre petrol to the powerful 4-litre V8 S4 and with either front or 4-wheel drive. The 4-wheel drive system, or Quattro as it's known in Audi speak, was first developed by Audi to win rallies. In 1996, the A4 Quattro was so dominant in the British Touring Car Championship, rivals complained. So why would you buy an Audi A4? Well, in its 3-litre V6 guise, it's extremely fast, although it's not as fast as something like the Subaru Impreza WRX, but it is more discreet. Okay, so the Advent is built more in style rather than outright space, but drop the 2 seats down at the back and you'd be surprised how much kit you will fit in there. On the outside, it's extremely stylish, and when you get in, well, it's typical Audi. It's well built, well designed, and it's fantastically well thought out. So how much should you be paying for the A4 3-litre Sport? Prices start around £15,000 for a 2001 car, rising to nearly 30 grand for a nearly new car with low miles and plenty of toys. But for 26 grand, yet again, Nicola should have quite a bit of choice. But let's find out what she thinks of Audi's A4 3-litre Sport. So, what did you think of the Audi? Give me the negatives first.
There's only one really, and that was that it was an automatic. I couldn't judge the performance of it. The whole thing, the look of it, I didn't think that I'd want an estate, but it just looks superb.
You were surprised with the fact that the estate is so cool
very
looking.
Surprised, yeah.
And the few nice little touches with the chrome
bits
in
of
it.
chrome, yeah, the leather interior. Just everything was set out so well inside the cabin. It was wonderful.
You really liked it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't make up your mind just yet. You've seen my 3 cars, but now Ian Royal has his alternative, so let's see what Nicola thinks of it.
If Nicola is looking for a practical high-performance car, then my advice would be to go for one of these, the Subaru Impreza Sti. Now you'll remember that the standard WRX was no slouch on the road, but this new Subaru Impreza Sti is in a different league altogether. BMW have their M cars, Mercedes AMG, but in Japan, the hottest Subarus wear Subaru Technica International badges, or STI for short. Now, a 40 horsepower increase in performance may not seem that much, but unofficially, it could have been a lot more. You see, there's a weird law in Japan which states that manufacturers can't sell cars with anything more than 280 brake horsepower. So the official line is that the Subaru STI has 265 brake horsepower. That's the official line. But let me put it like this. Unofficially, there are some vicious rumours swirling about the place that this STI could have a bit more than 265. It might have, rumour has it, 300 brake horsepower. But it is a rumour, and you didn't hear it from me. Whatever the truth behind the STI's power output, the fact is it's an extremely quick car. 0 to 60 takes around 5 seconds, with a top speed of over 150 miles per hour. And a Subaru wouldn't be a Subaru for us if it didn't drive all 4 wheels. The standard WRX's 4-wheel drive system easily copes with the extra power and has done nothing to spoil the Impreza's terrific grip. But let's not forget about practicality. It's got 4 doors and inside there's space for 4 adults, with a boot big enough to take their luggage as well. So my choice for a practical performance car would be the Subaru Impreza Sti. It's certainly more practical than Nicola's Megane Coupe, and it will eat our old Porsche 911 for breakfast. But it's back over to you, John, to find out what Nicola thinks of the STI.
So, what did you think of the Subaru Impreza STI?
Didn't like it.
Really?
Not at all, no.
Why?
I like fast cars and I might be a girl racer, but not that. That is just a typical boy racer car.
Yeah, but it would, you talk about putting a smile on your face, that would put a serious smile on your face. Isn't that not what you want?
Didn't like it though, didn't like the looks.
The spoilers and...
No, not at all, no. It's not a patch on the Porsche.
All right, well, we tried. We tried to change your mind, but we didn't. So that only brings us to one more decision you have to make. You've seen my 3 cars, you've seen Ian's alternative. Now I need you to tell me which one you're going to pick. So I need your 3, 2, 1, 3 being your least favourite of the 3 cars and 1 being your favourite.
Three's got to be the Saab.
Why?
Just wasn't me. Too old person's car.
Too much of an old person's car?
Yeah.
Why does that not surprise me? It is a performance diesel and that's what you were looking for, but obviously there wasn't enough.
Not enough performance.
Oh well, okay. In second place then?
The Audi.
It is a nice machine.
Like the look of it, didn't think I'd like an estate, but the automatic gearbox put me off.
Okay, which means in first place it is the
R32 Golf.
the machine that puts such a smile on your face
Yeah.
it isn't funny. So why did this beat the Audi, do you think?
It's just the sheer performance of it.
Yeah.
Looks nice, and like I said, it gives me that smile.
And what a big smile you had when you were driving it. Cracking machine, you really enjoyed driving it.
I did enjoy driving
So
it.
after all, if you had maybe a manual gearbox in the Audi, that might tilt the balance?
Might consider it, but this was just awesome. The power of
3.2
it.
litres under the hood.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, well, guess what this is?
Ski?
Would you like another little spin? That smile again. You haven't even got in behind the wheel yet. There you go, we'll take it for another little
Okay.
spin, won't we? All right, up in. Smile from ear to ear. Start her up there. So come on, wrap it up. What made you go for this at the end of the day?
Just this speed. It's not stopping. And it just looks the part.
Girl racer.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, girl racer at heart. Ah, yeah.
Makes me smile.
Well, I can see what you went for. This is my favourite as well. I've actually fallen in love with this car. I think it's a cracking machine. Now, if you have taken a fancy to any one of the cars you've seen on the show this week, well, if you're thinking of going out to buy one, here's what you should be looking out for. The R32 is new to the market, so there are no major problems to report. There are a few rattles from around the dashboard and the suspension is very hard, but remember, this is a performance car and this should be accepted as a characteristic of the vehicle. The Audi A4 is, according to our car doctor, bulletproof and is one seriously well-made product. It's so good, in fact, that our car doctor would put some of his own money into one. The only real niggle has been the odd coolant sensor failure on the engine. Like the A4, the 9.5 is a very solid and reliable car. However, there have been some electrical gremlins with the ECU. As well as adjusting the ECU, the air intake needs to be moved from behind the front grille to behind the front wing. This is a modification that should be done in your own vehicle. So in third place it was this, the Saab 9.5 turbo diesel. Now, Nicola did ask us for a performance diesel, which is what this is, but unfortunately it just didn't have enough zing for her. It didn't matter the fact that it does 40 miles to the gallon. In second place, it was the Audi A4 Estate. She really liked this car. She liked the look of it, she liked all the chrome little bits on it. The only thing she didn't like about it was the fact that this model we have here today is an automatic. If it was a manual white, well, it might have been a completely different story, which means in first place it is the Golf R32. And what a machine it is. This put the biggest smile I've ever seen on anyone's face. I only had to mention the fact that she could take it for a drive and she was beaming from ear to ear, and who can blame her? Inside here you've got a 3.2 V6 engine. An awful lot of power and an awful lot of fun. When you get it on the open road, well, it just cruises along. It's extremely comfortable. And inside there's loads of room. And if 3 doors aren't enough for you, well, you can get one in a 5-door version. What would I have gone for? Yeah, I think so. It had to be the R32. I've driven one before and I definitely drive one again. Well, that's it from Used Car Heaven. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you join us next time when I'll be helping yet another viewer get behind the wheel of their next car. We'll see you then. Good luck.